Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time of day it is for you. My name is Justin Coolump, and a whole host of names that turn into a long-running joke about demonology. With that said, we are starting off today. We are starting off today getting ready for Borderlands 3. We are continuing on our BorderQuest from 1, the pre-sequel, 2, and 3. We haven't gotten to the DLC here yet, but that's to be expected. I've mentioned it before, but the 3 has some long segments into it, so getting through them all can be kind of frustrating. And because of some personal shit that happened today, I'm a little frustrated today. But Wonderlands comes out next Friday. And we are going to be finished up by then, well before then. Because if not today, we'll get through the content. We'll definitely get through it tomorrow. And as you recall, I just said I was going to stop farming him, Grave Warden. But since I'm already here, I'm going to rock it one more time. I can't be in a boss's chamber and not murder them. I don't know why. But yeah, some content creators just drive me up the wall. And today it's not the normal shitty guy, it's someone else. Something I should have known better than to do. Oh, look at all that. There we go. Hit that like it's a center console. Would you drop it for me? Make it rain! Yeah, your guys gonna see me overcompensate tonight big time. Ooh, that's not a horrible shield. Alright. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and head over to Pandora. Yeah, you put me in a place to easily kill a boss, I'm going to easily kill the boss. Because why not, right? Give me 1 second. I forgot to do this a moment earlier. Excuse me. I was doing something. Clamp. All right, there we go. Kind of went the wrong way, but I can adjust to this one on the fly. Like I said, I'm not technically speedrunning it, but I'm definitely not just casually playing through these anymore. I was in someone's chat today, and I was talking about how essentially, I've spent a lot of time playing these games. All right. Do 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 do. See something real quick.
Hey, you're back! Reunion! Last time we were all here, I plucked your firehawk and left her on the ground like a hit-and-run skag. Oh, remember that? Good times. Oh, and then I totally murdered your siren friend, the blue-haired girl. I can't remember her name. I want to say Martha? Meg? Whatever. She did. And now we kidnapped your science nerd, too. You gotta admit, we are super good at taking your shit. Yeah, your Crimson Thieves Guild is in tatters and splatters and whatnot. Gonna be gone soon. Later, bitches.
Yeah, about that. This is another one of those cases where if we did nothing, you would have nothing.
How could I forget? Those undies are burned into my retinas.
Some of the writing's really good in this.
Who the hell is Carnivora?
Carnivora.
No, it's not who. What? Carnivora is a giant festival run by two murder streamers named Pain and Terror. You can find it in the Splinterlands, bro.
Now, I've got to say this. My favorite part about this game is Pain and Terror. And it's because Penn, who's doing all the voice acting, seems to be enjoying himself way too much. And that's what should happen. You should enjoy yourself like that. And you see him doing this, and it's like, okay, yeah, this is fun. And that's a lot of what you can do here. Moving fast through this fucking place. Yeah. I'm like Henri tonight. Like what I want to do is I literally want to just yell and scream at people. So yeah, I get aggravated. I rarely get banned from people's chats, and I was banned from someone's today. I kind of. It's one of those people, because I don't want to say their name. They're one of those people that they have just enough attention around them that their fan base is rabid. And he's one of the more popular Borderlands streamers, and talking shit about someone like that is not a good idea. But yeah, I get. Yeah, it's aggravating. Because I seriously want to talk shit. Like, and it's a lot of, I think it's a very specific group of, not group of, type of streamer that I think I get aggravated with. And that is the people who are just at that point where they're making enough money off of streaming that they can stop working, but they don't. So even if they piss off the wrong person, oh my, I still have a 9 to 5 to go back to. I just don't stream online anymore. Just enough personality to have a loyal group of people following them. Know what I mean? It's frustrating more than anything else. Because again, you can't really bad talk them. Because fan bases. And like, I'm not a guy who's ever going to get that big. Is it partial jealousy? Hell yeah. But, oh, that's right, I had this. See? Fucking badass shotgun. But yeah, it's a type of streamer, and it's annoying. Like, through my workday, I will hang out in other people's streams. And, I will chill with people and talk with people. And I don't advertise my stream at all. A, because, again, I'm not that guy. And B, because I think it's a rude-ass thing to do. Big what? Crossroad. What's that? Surge. So yeah, it's... I want to talk shit, but I can't. 2, because it would do nothing. And it would do nothing for me, other than getting it off my shoulders, but... Oh my, now I'm just a jelly bitch. See, it's where I get angry at. Ooh, got something nice there. Oh, got a hive! I keep going back to Borderlands 2 and hitting F to do the boost when all I need is to do shift. Now, this game did one thing really, really right. So, whenever you lose a mission critical vehicle, and they're all trucks, by the way. All the mission criticals are trucks. What'll happen is it will get blown up, what have you. You can respawn that vehicle. So you never find yourself completely disconnected from it. Which is a very good thing. And credit should be where it's due. Oh, it's not in the right perfect place. Like, I don't understand why you just can't come over and start the fucking conveyor. Now, I don't know about other people, but whenever I'm doing one of the seasonal events, or if I happen to turn on a seasonal event, this is where I come to. And the reason why is right here is a hugely, densely populated group of enemies.
Anything get between you and Tannis?
Who's ready for a very special live stream? The Agonized 9000 is all oiled up and ready to kill. We got some great opening action for you. But while you prepare to see the great ball, we're bringing you behind the scenes with our headliner. Now, Blaster, you're a crazy son. Came from space.
You hear how they actually gave her a title, Blasphemer Tannis?
I was just admiring this elaborate murder device you've assembled. It's the details, the rusted sheet metal, the haphazard beveling, the sheer capacity for taking human lives. I can see you put a lot of yourself into this machine, even hanging from these chains.
You know, it's so great to hear you say that. My partner Tara and I, we're awfully proud of the Agonizer 9000 here. And
I did it again.
we get a true connoisseur of homicidal arts here in the studio. Tell you what, I'll swing you close to the action.
Yeah, I want to talk about this, but I know it's...
Lineup today, folks. Our opening act is a Bully Mom poacher from the Southern Shelf.
So, talking shit about DSP is easy. He has a lot of really bad hot takes, and I mean really, really bad hot takes. Super easy. He's not in the same community as me. And that's the truth. He belongs to a very specific group of locals that essentially they are only popular because people like to make fun of them. It's very specific, and I never want to end up in that group. However, it's not uncommon for other streamers to make fun of him. Those who actually know about him. Because he is one of those people who's kind of like just fallen off to the wayside. And because of that, easy fun.
You just cut off. What's happening down there?
Now,
Wasn't me, but
some of the stuff that really gets some people upset is whenever you make fun of someone who's actually popular and actually a good streamer. Whether you feel like they're being an asinine douchebag or not,
Tannis is still on board that thing. Run it down.
they still have a significantly more popular fan base than you. And that more popular fan base is what, in essence, really matters.
Ladies, gentlemen, and every other conceivable point in the graph, you're watching the showdown of a lifetime. On one side, the vault thief. On the other, the most terrible machine ever built by human hands, Carnivora. First rule of showbiz, kid. If you can't keep up, you get left behind in the dust. Terror, punch it.
I think I've identified this monstrosity's weak points. Despite its bulk, it's very fast. You'll need to destroy its fuel lines if you have any hopes of slowing it down.
Done. Drive shaft next. But yeah,
This is unacceptable. We're live right now. Crew, get out there and fix this.
now, whenever I first played the game, I thought you had to take the golden chariot to do this. Then, I forget which speedrunner it was, probably Deceptix or Unjust. I saw use this instead, and I'm like, is that really faster? And yeah, it's a lot faster. The weapon speed outpaces the damage being done by a large margin.
Great work, Vault Hunter. Now get on board and save Tannis.
And don't stand right there. It will kill you. Doggos, doggos, doggos.
What the hell is happening? Why is nothing working? Terror! Fix this! Get the engineers back in here. I want the Agonizer 9000 back up and killing. Now! Now! Now!
Bull Hunter, I'm running out of time.
So look at the Firebrand. Even the Firebrand is going down to this. Oh, man.
So very close, my spotlight hogging ball thief. But you can't unplug that easily. We're gonna sacrifice this heretic.
Something to really notice since I'm bitching about this.
Left behind 1,000 half-completed experiments.
This whole thing
Discovered artifacts
is
and
real.
questions
Like, okay.
of the Iridian hope.
So, Payne and Teller, or well, rather the Calypso twins, are very much a representation of modern streamers. People like Professor Broman, and then K6, and a few other went, yeah, I get that. Because to be successful as a streamer, which I'm not, I just know what it takes, and I'm unwilling to do some of the stuff. You kind of have to put yourself out there a lot more than what you want to. A really good example, and I got mad respect for Professor Broman. He began out as a Borderlands 2 speedrunner. Moved into other games like Destiny. His little brother, I think it's his little brother, T-Rex, managed to come up at the same time. It could have been because of it, or he's just that charismatic. I don't know enough about T-Rex to say yes or no on that. So
Aw, but we were just getting started.
they recognize that where they are isn't going to always be there. So what they did is they essentially made sure that they had passive income coming in with things like a coffee company.
Poster of Typhon Leon in my room on Sanctuary. Give it to Lilith. Second, I have a database of compromising information on rival scientists.
So they recognized what they had to do. He recognized that he couldn't just play one game and be successful. Although that's not entirely untrue, it's definitely one of those things that
Kill me, sons of bitches.
it's definitely one of those things that it's unlikely to happen. Not everyone can do what Towley the Tank did, and you don't know who he is. He's a massive WoW streamer, or at least I don't know if he's still streaming WoW, but he used to.
It's a professional gig, Vault Thief. Your big moment. If we're gonna get you in the ring, you're gonna need some entrance music.
Excuse the fuck off. Not everyone gets to be that big. Carnage is a variety streamer. You see him play all sorts of games. I think he even played Borderlands 3 when it came out. I don't object to this. To the greatest show on earth. Now, something to point out. I'm entirely a fire build at this point. That ain't working. So, you see the type of damage I'm doing.
For some barbecue. What kind of show do you think this is? Time for a quick commercial break. Our ammunition sponsor today is Marcus Division. Like some counting to be here. Colt Wacko's get stuffed. Hey pal, I'll take your money, but that's just unprofessional. Okay, it's over. We're all in. Terror, hit everybody.
And something I want to say. This is a great way to basically say we're giving you more mechanics now.
Let me hear you scream.
Oh, Hunter, destroy that core. Trust me.
Unstable? I don't care. Just do it.
Hi, boys.
Taken care of. You must have questions. I can explain.
Loot expanding deathless. Ooh. Okay, no. I'm not taking a deathless. Deathlesses are actually pretty good. What was the other one I have? We're gonna go with that.
Go ahead, make your observation.
You're a siren.
You're a super secret siren?
Yes, that is how I have been speaking in your head and charging the vault keys. As for my particular powers, I am able to manipulate machines and anything else with a current. It is known as phase shifting. You could call it a gift from a guardian angel.
Ha 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 ha! I still don't remember being amused by that line. Like, I get it. So, Randy is a tyrant dork. During the reveal of Borderlands 3, when they were showing off the gameplay for the first time, he literally came out and did magic. He did card tricks. Very, very publicly on stage for a major event, he came out and did card tricks. He's a dork. There's like no two ways around it. That's exactly what he is. No. But even as the big dork he is, from what we hear about in the inside of Gearbox, he is kind of controlling. It's his company. He's allowed to be controlling. I'm not saying he's not. But he's kind of a... From what I hear, he's kind of a jerk. But oh boy, is he a dork. After all that, you kind of realize that, yeah, there's a few jokes that are going to be slipped in that are just bad.
Ball Hunter is here.
Hey, killer.
Like, you could say it came from a guardian angel. Jokes like that are going to work. And it didn't work for me, but I know I saw people laugh at it. I legit saw streamers get a chuckle off of that. And by the way, when they first showed off Sanctuary, I'm going to show this to you as well, if you haven't seen. Sanctuary has a joke in it.
Blood feud!
Where is it?
Is this thing on? Test. Hey, Vault Hunter. Have we got an opportunity for you?
It's up here, but we're going to check over here real quick.
My favorite.
You never know what you might get. Where is it? Heatant, coolant. That's the jokes. Guardian Angel is not a surprise, and this is the reason I go ha 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 ha. And I don't seem surprised by a stupid joke like that.
Vault Hunter, you're here. We're under attack. Help!
Why are you under attack? Yeah. Shotgun! Shotgun! Yeah, like I said, I think this game had... So, it did better than the pre-sequel did. Again, I'll talk some shit about the pre-sequel. I think that it wasn't great. I think it was a lot of missed opportunities.
We were goners.
Because of that, I didn't like it as much. The end game was bad. The...
I anoint thee, Ravager of Roland's Reach Around. Woo! Iridium! Hells yeah! Go forward and lay waste, my gladiator! Your soon-to-be god commands it! What the suck? It's a glower! Watch out!
Wow.
Alright, that was scary for you. Roland's Rest is safe. It's about time we got a win.
But,
Now let's bro chat.
the overwhelming truth is that some of the jokes in here just don't work as well as they should. Like, I like dorky things. A guardian angel should have at least gotten a chuckle out of me. Come on, Vaughn.
Hey, I hear we're launching an attack on the Calypso stronghold. It's about time. I'm all in, bro. I'm through being
The Calypso's plaything. Blood feud!
Blood feud!
Hear me, bros and bronettes. This is our moment. We're gonna ride to the Calypso's gate.
By the way,
Show those punk
guess what I did the first time I came down here? I drove right into the turrets.
into the breach!
Later, Crimson Traitors.
To the cathedral! Ride, my Crimson Army! Ride toward victory!
And how many people are on this goddamn planet?
We cannot reach the Calypso stronghold while those turrets are active. We might be able to shut them down with phase shift. For a task that large, I will need my Iridium amplifier. It is in my secret lab, hidden beneath an old doll mine nearby. Vaughn will show you the way.
Well, that went real bad. But as long as you survived, we still got hope, bro. So, anyway,
How does he not? Ugh! So, there's a lot of small things. And again, the story is the biggest problem with Borderlands 3. The mechanics of the game are perfectly fine. What gets me is there are a lot of things like that. In Tales from the Borderland, which is canon, he knows what the fuck a siren is.
Mine's that way.
There's no one who's on this planet who doesn't know what a siren is.
There you go. Happy hunt.
At least Borderlands 2 made it seem like some of the bandits were so dumb they had no idea. You know what? That's probably the last power. Ooh. Ooh. I think I know what the last siren power is. Okay, so 1,000 to 1, they didn't think about this. They just said siren as a really neat way to.
You won't get in that way. I hope you don't mind hoofing it, as they say.
So,
Honestly, most people are just a senseless collection of shapes and colors.
the last one is Phase Call.
A city's worth of electricity
I
was
don't
flowing through my
think.
entire body. I laid my hand on a washing machine and it
I think the last ability is going to be, corruption of the soul, I guess, and able to seduce people.
no control over these new abilities. And I needed to
That would explain why, like, we don't know if their parents, like the Calypso's parents, or specifically their mother, was a siren or not. And it's very well possible that she was. Wait. Hold on one second. Stop with all the fucking shit here. Okay, that's the queen. I'm looking something up real quick. Okay. I'm gonna have to go back to, I'm not gonna do it right now. I gotta go back and re-listen to, Typhon's talk about the Queen.
my old employer's mind, fill me with nostalgia. The good days. I was an ambitious researcher, led only by limitless creativity,
So,
unbound by archaic
Lita, which is Tyrene and Troy's mother,
love is popping off.
is not said to not be a siren. She's not said to be one, but she's not said not to be one. Huh. I think so siren abilities, we know about 5 of them. We have Phase Walk, Lilith, Phase Grass, Phase Hold, or whatever it's called, from Maya. We have Phase Slam, or Grasp, because I don't know which one it would be technically, from Amara. Let's call, because we never actually see it's given a name, Phase Leech from,
Kudos. My lab is
what's her name? Tyrene.
making progress. Please put down the blowtorch.
So, and then there's Phase Shift, which is the technology one that, what's her face has? Tannis. The last one, which should have been like, now that I think about it, should have been fucking obvious, is going to be, it's not going to be called Phase anything. I think it's just going to be called Siren's Call. And I'm thinking, because they don't explain any of this, so some of this is like just pure conjecture. Oh. So what I think is going on is the last ability is exactly as it sounds. It is a mind control ability. And it is very well possible that whenever the vault was opened up, whatever was in that vault could have possibly been a siren's ability that just couldn't leave for whatever reason. Like it just didn't have the power. The vault itself kept it contained. And that might explain a few things about sirens and how they interact with the vaults too, but that's beside the point. So you have these vaults, and maybe they can contain siren powers. And the siren power of Siren's Call was trapped in a Necrodefeo. Whenever Typhon and Lita opened up the vault on Necrodefeo, it got released. And it wasn't given to it was given to Lita originally because she was the first available host that was there. So it attaches itself to the first available host. It's easier than like searching the cosmos to find someone who is compatible, right? Now, Typhon and Lita don't notice this because they're fucking like rabbits. And when Tyrene was born, she was born with the new power, with the leech. The last power is probably going to be Siren's Call. Either that, or there's going to be, because I think somewhere hidden in the lore it says beware the 7th. So the 7th might be Siren's Call. Yeah. It's either going to be the 6th power or the 7th power. Because we don't know what Steel's power was. We know it's not Phase Shift because Angel was on was acting through the satellite. Odds are it wasn't Slam, because we know Amara was very much a figure throughout her neighborhood, and Batali. So, odds are either the 6th or 7th power is going to be Siren's Call. The question is if there is a 6th or if there's a 7th. Yeah. Granted, I'm biased because it's my idea, at least as far as I know it's my idea. But that would explain a lot. Because it's obvious Tyreen doesn't have full grasp over her powers. It's very obvious that her power is basically out of control. She never learned how to control her hunger. All right. Remember how I was talking about the vehicles here and how the quest vehicles can respawn?
Yo, Vault Hunter, where are you vaulting to?
All right, it's being fussy with me this time.
Oh, fudge pants! The bandits found us! Drive, bro, drive!
We'll see if we can make it in here. But yeah,
Hey, you're gonna wanna keep
either Power 6 or Power 7 is going to be Siren's Call.
Long story.
And I think it's Power 7.
Bandits are a bandit delicacy. Just saying.
Because if there's... Because the way Jack knows it, there's only six sirens in the universe. But it's possible that there might need to be a master siren, essentially. Or, let's call it a queen siren, because we know they're all females. With Troy being some type of, exception because of the birth.
More company! Keep
With
the
that
faith.
said, I would argue that that's the thing. Lita ended up getting Siren's Call.
Got a couple of new tanks.
Whenever Tyreen and Troy were born, they had Phase Leech,
More rigs incoming.
and Tyreen sapped the power from her mother without realizing what she'd done, or she had done it on purpose to get the power.
We're hit.
We don't know because Lita is kind of that mystery.
Nice work. I think we're in the clear. They're shooting at us.
Yes, Vaughn. They're psychos. Okay. And that actually explains a lot of the little things on how she was able to do it. Because these psychos never drew themselves to one banner before. There's no reason for them to do it now. Like, seriously. What makes Tyreen so special? It's not the I love you, you're my family that all of a sudden made them, like, just turn over a new leaf. So if Lita got Siren's Call, and that's just what I'm calling right now as a placeholder. If she got Siren's Call, Tyreen absorbed it from her. Because, again, no control over her powers. That would literally put it at the case where all of this actually makes sense from a narrative perspective.
Drive, bro, drive! More
Yeah, that's it. That's going to be the big twist. The big twist is literally going to be Tyreen had two powers that we didn't know about from the beginning. Now, what we do notice is that whenever
We made it. I'm
Tyreen gets ganked, the Firehawk goes back to Lilith because Lilith never died. So the power's never given up technically. Because it doesn't say it, but I think you've got to die for the siren power to leave you. It's not like the Phoenix Force, or at least they've never described it like the Phoenix Force. So, the two things put together, it equals that. Yeah, it's possible that Steel had Leech before Tyrene had it.
Hey, Stan!
Want to ride sometime?
You just let me know, bro. Road trip! Whoa, sorry. I got a little carried away there. Start the iridium flippity-flu and rally the troops. Lilith gives the word.
And again, they never needed the vault key for all this.
Head friend to stay out of my head from 8 to 11. That's where I keep the special
Nope, just return to Sanctuary. Yeah, that's the catch. I think that's where we get back around to. Tyrene had two abilities. One was from her mother. One was the leech power. Because the leech power was somehow split between two embryos, the power was essentially out of control, and she had no way to keep it under wraps. She absorbs her mother's power,
Is this thing on?
which again, calling it Siren's Call.
Hey, Vault Hunter. We got an opportunity for you.
And
Don't want to miss it.
that's how she's able to command all these people into doing what she wants them to do. It makes the most sense.
Okay, Tannis's iridium amplifier is in place. Vaughn's forces on the ground are upset. Not gonna get a better chance to move on the Calypso.
Incoming transmission from.
The Calypso's got it.
Hey, turd farmers! Check this out! Take a look out the window! Troy's about to blow your spine out your ass!
God power, bitches!
Shit's going down. But bang like a naughty.
Everyone all right?
Aye, pero how did you like phase lock the entire moon?
Phase lock, that's her power.
What the hell is going on? It's the freaking moon, you idiots! The key to the Great Vault has been in front of your dumb faces this whole time.
See, I was planning to leech enough vault monsters to charge it myself, but then you handed us your stupid siren friend, and now Troy can just use iridium.
Once I charge Elvis, the Great Vault will open.
I'll leech the monster inside, and we become gods.
We'd invite you to our place for the grand opening, but, it's kind of a family thing.
See you at the end of the world.
I don't! Unless. Lilith, we must stop Troy from opening the Great Vault, but as long as he's infusing himself with iridium, he will be nearly invincible.
Then we cut off his supply. Vault Hunter, once Tannis takes out those turrets, you lead a ground assault.
Ground assaults are my specialty.
And whoever has a death wish can take on Tyrene and Troy.
Death
it's-
are also my specialty.
Ava, you good to back up the Vault Hunter?
Yeah? You sure?
You were right. We gotta run towards the fire. Let's go, everyone. Vault Hunter, get geared up and say your goodbyes. This is it. Talk to me before you head down.
This is a place where we can't actually skip anything.
All set, killer?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Iron Bear's jonesing for a fight. It's time to beat some COV ass and take down the Calypsos. Head to Roland's Rest. Vaughn and Tannis will be ready.
It's on. Time to idle.
And I love that Ice-T really isn't playing the fluffy bear. He's basically playing Ice-T as a fluffy bear. It's not a separate character, it's still just Ice-T. Like if somehow Ice-T turned himself into a stuffed animal, that's what he's playing this as. And that alone is worth the price of admission to me. But yeah, like this part here,
Vault Hunter, it is time.
it comes off as a little long. They could have shortened this up or turned it into a cutscene altogether.
Whenever I imagined saving the world, it was always by curing a bioplague I'd accidentally unleashed.
Man, that thing looks dangerous. So what, like it gives you superpowers or something? Kinda wanna lick it.
I am ready. I hope. Oh my.
Hello?
Whoa, this
Is this my rifle you're looking for?
Go! Siren Life!
I feel powerful.
She's flying!
Vault Hunter, I'll meet you up ahead. If I'm to moonlight as a hero, I should use the vernacular, yes? It is
Go time!
Ride, bro, ride!
Now drive, Vault Hunter. Drive like you're heading for a cliff with a loved one. But to my position.
Hello?
Hell yeah, Cobb, let's go! Executing phase shift. Let the controlled chaos commence!
Oh, new Guardian rank. Okay, cool. I've been working on Survivor. Yeah. I'm a survivor. Come on, Tannis.
I've taken over all the turrets and promised them amnesty. Please welcome the newest members of the Crimson Raiders.
And this is how machine gods are created. Like the Warhammer 40K machine gods.
Maurice Ball! And you know, the Crimson Raiders too! Go team! Jacobs rides with you as well, Vault Hunter. Let's show them zealots the might of the
Now,
Raiders.
there is no... sorry.
Enough of a fire for you, Ava? We got this.
This
Vault Hunter.
is a badass moment.
You freaking maestro of mayhem or whatever.
This is just a badass moment. No ifs, ands, or buts to it. If you stop and actually kill everyone here, you can take your time and do that.
I've never seen such power. If we don't stop Troy soon, he's gonna tear Pandora apart.
But you can also just run up here and do it. Now, something to note. That moon-sized device there, that's ripping the planet apart at this point.
Oh, Vault Hunter! Tina gave me these.
Yeah, you're going to need to step a little bit further back if Atina gave it to you. Yeah, that's not far enough.
You got nothing! Thanks, Tina!
I got you, Ava. Come on.
Full moon party!
Like I said, Ava had potential. They just fucked her up. And again, it's because they didn't let writing do the work. they tried to force it to be what they wanted it to be, and anytime you do that, you're gonna find yourself on the opposite side of it. I don't know anybody who likes Ava for her character
Here they come.
and can successfully defend it. Let me put that on there. I've never met someone who can successfully defend Ava's character and her behavior. Oh, hi, badass psycho. We're too close. How do you know that? Like, really? How does she know that? I know from a gameplay perspective, it's a way to tell you go to the next marker. So in reality, something like this is going to fuck up everything it touches. Because could you imagine what it takes to generate that ball?
Kill the Vault Hunters for me, would you please? We're sort of busy at the moment. Stop coddling them, Tyreen.
Okay, more fuel.
Listen, demented mouth breathers. I'm charging an entire goddamn moon. So why the hell are the Vault Thieves still alive? Kill them now, or I'll rip you apart and piss on your ashes!
It's been a while since I've gone down. But not your mama? I'll talk mad shit about your twin gods. You act like they're the first deity I've managed to murder.
Drown the Vault Thieves in your own blood if you have to. I don't care, just get it done!
Little things like this also makes the game less annoying to replay, because you don't have to clear out this entire room to move on to the next part. You just have to hit the lever.
You worthless nothings! Kill the Vault Thieves! Now!
Listen to my brother, lovelies. The great vault beckons. Our moment of transcendence is at hand. Keep the heretics at bay while we prepare for our divine transformation.
Let's show him what we got there.
You must cut off Troy's iridium supply, Vault Hunter.
Come on.
Pandora's fate is in your
BAM!
hands. No pressure.
What you got?
Vault Hunter, Troy's iridium supply is flowing through those statues. Let's see if we can cut him off from the source.
That works.
Take him down, Vault Hunter.
Okay. Ava should not have been giving commands to the Vault Hunter. I know the literal goal is for us to like Ava and for her to be the next Lilith. Because they're gonna kill off Lilith, essentially.
Good one.
However, it seriously undercuts when you have this someone... Let's assume the game takes place over the course of a year. Interstellar travel and all. Let's say 1 year that this is happening. And I bitched about this last year too. Let's say it's taken a whole year for all of this to happen. actually get the armies together to actually fight them, to travel from place to place in order to get the materials that they need to do this. Especially the amount of iridium that they were wanting. So it's taken a full year. Ava has never come off as confident enough to suddenly be acting like she's the Billy Badass of the moment. She has never been that confident. So why is now all of a sudden she's like, "You've got this, Vault Hunter"?
Vault Hunter cut off his iridium supply. Where's Troy getting that kind of power?
I have a theory, but you aren't going to like it, Lilith.
Tyrene. He's using Tyrene. He's leeching his own sister to keep charging Elpis. Vault Hunter, you have to take out Troy. It's the only way.
And why can't she absorb iridium? Because Lilith was doing that left and fucking right.
Get shredded. Keep going. Viewership's through the roof.
Down, little cub.
Okay.
Stop! You're gonna kill me!
Gonna bring an unfriendly fire. Feeling it. Killer cub.
Yeah, it's just inconsistent, is what I'm saying.
Almost there, Tyrene.
Troy! I can't handle this much longer!
Don't you dare quit on me now. Elvin.
Why is he acting like Billy Badass as well?
Ty.
Whose echo is that? Well,
Ooh,
check it out.
occultist.
This is Moe's copy.
Who? How did you get the... No, you know what? It doesn't matter. This is Typhon de Leon. Listen up. You see that crazy beam of light shooting through the sky? Pretty cool, right? That means the Great Vault is opening. And if it does, say goodbye
Oh,
to
wow.
Pandora. So get your case to the Necro de Feo now.
Over here, killer.
Ooh.
He said Typhon de Leon.
Impossible. He's been missing for decades, ever since he vowed to find the legendary planet of
Necrotafeo. Maya used to tell me stories about it.
Ugh.
What is going on?
Pandora's not a planet. It's the Great Vault.
and Tyrene intends to leech the planet-sized monster within.
The Destroyer. It's still alive. That's what Typhon told me when she told me she'd finish what I started.
There is still a vault here. Vault Hunter, you should go and see what is inside. I imagine we'll need every advantage we can get.
Don't worry, Iron Cub. Mama's got this.
Huh.
This isn't the Great Vault itself. The Calypsos were in possession of the Pandoran key for quite
Yeah.
They could have looted
I'm gonna go back to what I was thinking. I think...
Incredible. That device appears to be capable of translating Iridian language. That's something that has eluded even the top researchers in the field for decades. And yes, I do mean me. This will need further study. Return to me, Vault Hunter.
Yeah, I'm gonna maintain that. That makes the most sense given all the stuff that's been provided to us. First off, there are 7 powers, not 6. And the 7th power is the power to
Gotta find some new
convince people.
Very good. When you return to Sanctuary, please go to my lab first. I suspect that analyzer might be a missing piece in a puzzle I've been trying to solve.
Back to the ship, everyone. We have to find Necro de Feo.
and meet the Vault hunter who started it all.
So, with that said, I think we figured it out.
In addition to the end of the world, now the Iridian slab in my lab, or my lab's lab, has seemingly reactivated itself. Go investigate, Vault Hunter. Iridians would have left nothing to chance. Perhaps they left us a final message.
They left us many final lesson messages.
I suspect this has something to do with the analyzer you picked up from the vault. See what happens if you use it. He's dead, finally. Troy Calypso is dead, but Tyrone is out there somewhere. Crimson Raiders to the bridge.
See,
So Necrodefeo's real? I thought it was just a myth.
So did I. Typhon de Leon disappeared on his expedition to the Iridian homeworld decades ago. It seems he found it after all. Tyrene said the destroyer would be free soon. It'll rip the planet apart from the inside. Typhon de Leon knows how to save Pandora. We have to find him.
Never thought I'd say this, killer, but
Set a course for Necrodefeo.
Okay, this might get weird, you guys. Hold on tight.
Necrodefeo.
after all this time. No sense waiting around. Get down there, Vault Hunter. Find Typhon de Leon.
Drop pod's all set. You be careful down there.
I'll be careful down there on Necrodefeo.
Right by Maya. Killed that bastard.
Douglas just got up. Want me to cut off the microphone, the camera? All right.
That's an after effect of having your eyes opened.
You's a cute little doggo. Yes, you are. Okay. Boop the snoot. Boop the snoot.
Vault Hunter, we're trying to
I will boop all of the snoots.
sending the coordinates to you.
I am
This is all right.
the snoot booper.
First, Pandora was a vault the entire time. Now we've located the Iridian homeworld. You're about to meet Typhon de Leon in the flesh. If you'll excuse me, I must take a power nap. Am I sorry?
Yeah, power nap. Okay.
Yo, Lilith. Malawan's here. And by the looks of it, super dead.
How could Malawan have known about Necrodefeo? Stay sharp, killer.
Now, something I do want to point out here, and this is where they really should have had someone proofread the work who was unbiased,
Just what I do.
and then had someone who is completely biased on it. So here's the deal.
Like the look
Tyrene going for the vault map is unnecessary. Her father, which we'll find out is her father here in a few minutes, told her everything about the vaults. Those were her bedtime stories. So she knows she doesn't need the actual the vault map or the Pandoran smaller vault keys, because she knows for a fact what the real key is. So why does she spend so much effort trying to get that key? Now, if my theory happens to be correct, and she was partially under the effects of Siren's Call, as I am going to call it, it is very possible. Sorry, I love the way she says that. So we end up in a situation where she's getting conflicting information. One side of the information is saying, you need this key to unlock something. The vault monsters on Pandora. And because Tyreen doesn't know that they're all dead, or at least most of them are dead, or some of them are dead, she thinks that she needs the key. The Siren's Call. And I think calling it Siren's Call is probably the best thing, because I'm betting it is very much a controlling personality rather than just like a siren power like we see with what Lilith and Amara and Maya use. This comes off more as a very much comes off very much as, like, this is all spitballing by the way. It probably takes over. It's probably Insidious. Probably said there's more vaults on Pandora. You should chase down those extra vaults. And as far as we know, that was her intention, is to go to all these other vaults, pop them open, have the bandits murder everything, and then leech what's inside. Hush your mouths. That would make the most sense overall. And I remember talking about this last year. Definitely, no, I know I talked about something like this last year. Where there has to be a reason for Tyreen's behavior. Because we have no idea how old she was whenever she killed her mom. We have no idea how old they were when they left Necro de Feo. Which gives us several little options to actually point out.
So if you got some, I'm always happy to make you a gunner.
Hey, now I gotta show you something. This way. Hey, bots. I'm taking the Vault Hunter to the machine. Don't let anyone inside. Marijuana or otherwise.
Now,
Now's our chance to prove our worth.
based off this room, we can assume that there probably are more vaults, but they're on only 4 planets. But that's not what we actually see, because the vault map shows like 8 different planets or 6 different planets.
Thor is an ancient Iridian astrokinetic vault-powered phase engine something or other. I just call it the machine. Pretty nifty. And the colors. Those Iridians knew how to make an entrance, right? This was the machine that
Huh.
destroyed the first time.
Opposite side of the coin,
But we need full
sirens
vaults to get in.
are
Already got 3.
a byproduct.
You know it.
Ooh.
Eden 6. Ain't no paradise. Promethea. I found the first vault there, you know.
Ooh.
Avalon set up a buttload of bait.
Companion's still better.
This is between us and the vault. This is exactly why I tried to keep Necro the Fail's secret in the first place. I guess that word's out of its cage. Gotta get the last key.
They hid it near the vault. There's a bridge that leads to the vault side. Head there.
Open the chest. What do we get? 3 keys.
Good luck with Malor.
So, here's an alternative theory about the sirens. So we can assume there's 2 assumptions now that I'm coming up with. First off, sirens existed in the universe as long as the universe has existed. Primordial force in the universe, good, evil, blah, blah, blah.
Come in all shapes and sizes.
If you want to go really cliche, at once the four nations were in balance. And then the Fire Nation attacked. Same thing with the sirens. Once in balance, something happened, no longer in balance. It's your typical thing. With that said, moving from there, we can make the next level assumption. The opposite side of that coin is the sirens created themselves. So what we see from the Guardians is that the Guardians, the sirens created themselves out of 7 super scientists. Since there's a lot of stuff in here that comes off as magic, but is really science. A good example is like the technology that Zero uses to do his thing.
Anybody counting? Pick the rod.
With that said, that seems like something it could be. The sirens come across the Great Destroyer. However the Destroyer's made, we are probably never going to find out. So the Destroyer's created. It's wreaking havoc. And the Necrodefayans decide that they need to stop it. And I'm just saying that it's the Necrodefayans. That way we can assume that it's the race that created the generators, the one that created the sirens. So we have the sirens created here on Necrodefeo whenever they kick on the actual engine here. And I come with this thought because, oh man, fucking me and theory crafting. So what happens is, the reason why it happens is whenever they kick on the engine, there's an excessive amount of energy that the Destroyer kicks off. We get our 6 primary powers, and then we get the 7th Siren's Call. And the Siren's Call is the Destroyer wanting to take over the universe, or eat the universe, or however they want to describe it in the next game. Because we know there is going to be a Borderlands 4. This was enough a success for there to be a Borderlands 4. Just being honest. So, what happens is, and this is my theory, and this would actually fit with how they fucked up the canon a little bit.
A lot of Malowans here. You better send them packing, Vault Hunter.
The overall is that the Necrodefayans became had the first 7 sirens. Because the power of the Destroyer is like all other energy, can either be destroyed or created, can only be transformed, it moves from one person to another person. And with probably, let's just say the Necrodefayans did not survive creating the prison. That the majority of the people who created the prison died along with it. Had to like power it all together, and only way you can do that is by actually like powering it up and blah 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 blah. So, all of a sudden, you do have something that fits the cannon.
My day, that's what shut down a force field instead of jumping over it. Looks like you'll have to take out the generator on the other side. You ain't getting through that force field unless you take out the generator on the other side. Like I always say, when you're in mud, find some higher ground. There you go. Now blow
So,
the generator, Vault Hunter.
um,
All right.
yeah.
Bullseye is just ahead.
Suck on my big brother-sized balls, Vault Hunter. To run!
So are a bunch of idiots. But yeah, that's how it works. That makes the most sense for what's going on in the canon.
But it ain't gonna be easy.
Part 1. I like the sirens being created
Company for a change. Haven't
because it kind of fits a more harder science reality.
crash landed decades ago. I drove around here ever since.
So whatever the destroyer is,
Hear my secret? Get this. I'm really
ooh, and you get the Doctor Who reference. Okay,
and ugly's the best.
here's the way I envision this.
Perfect for sneaking.
We're gonna go back
My share of sneaking.
to the beginning.
Mallowan showed up. I've been nabbing everything in under his three products. His poor security. If you're smart.
First, the destroyer exists. The Iridians see the destroyer as a real issue. Oh shoot, I forgot to pour it around, no worries. 2. Two. The Necrodephians see a reason for the destroyer to be stopped. Slowly consuming the galaxy and may go even further because it's only gaining power.
Hunter, if you get the chance, please get Tyson de Leon for me.
3.
And a lock of his hair.
They create the prison, and in doing so, the prison actually can't hold all the power, and the power leaks out. 6 Necrodephians, because they're the ones who are closest, survive. They take those powers, and they become the first 6 or 7. They can figure that part out. They become the first sirens. And becoming the first sirens, what they do is they begin to set up the Guardians and finding a way to create this other race. That way they can continue. Okay, we gotta switch this up so I can make this faster. Now all of a sudden, they have a whole bunch of Guardians who can protect their property and make sure that the destroyer never leaves. You make most of them guard dogs, essentially, and you make some of them sentient and sapient. So, can think and can recognize oneself. So, can reason and can recognize oneself. After that, hundreds of thousands of years, how many ever years they want to say, the vaults start getting opened, and better yet, the sirens begin to try to seal themselves up. They could see the corrupting force of like siren. Oh. I would love to be at the writing table with the Gearbox for this type of stuff. So what they do is they actually see that Siren's call is the 7th siren. And this is where they end up calling themselves sirens. The 7th siren is beginning to show signs of corruption. And they decide that they have to seal away the 7th power. There's not many of their race left, but they have no other choice. So, in a moment of clarity, the 7th siren decides, yeah, that's what I'll do. I will willingly jump into this, willingly jump into the vault, and I will die in that vault to leave the power there. And because of how close it is to their astrophase engine, what ends up happening is it just can't leave. The power that control keeps the destroyer in check, also keeps the Siren's Call in check because that's its greatest ability, is to lure people in. um, ooh, 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 ooh.
Wonder what flavors they have in them.
That path will lead straight to the vault.
And
Key. Don't worry.
the vaults begin to reopen.
The other keys.
Either through natural means, because the iridium, which is a byproduct of the destroyer, is now seeping out through the world, and it's naturally charging the keys that they use to lock down these vaults.
You made it.
You can even see that the vaults were intended to be a way to combat the destroyer. Ooh, a new epicenter? No. Wait, what's the impact? No. So, yeah, there's a lot you could do with this and keep it within, like, canon for what the game is without going outside of, without having to get super silly with it. All they have to do is have a good, clear definition of the end, or the beginning of the universe as they would see it. Once they have the beginning of the universe, they can definitely work that in. And I think that would be the best way to actually do it, is to have it something like that, where it's literally an issue of
Just feeding the birds.
where the actual concern, the destroyer was a part of the universe, but it began out as like a worm, and then it grew into a dragon, and now it's like Shinron, basically. Ooh.
Typhon, how did you even find Necrodefeo? Yeah.
That would work.
Story. Ha! So did everyone, except my wife Leda. She figured it out. After we got married on Pandora, we left to find Necrodefeo for our honeymoon. Well, we ended up crash landing. See, I put the ship on autopilot while we got busy. That's on me. And so was she. Anywho, the ship was kaput, Cumberland was kaput, but we didn't care. We were in love. Leda, she was whip smart. And smart with the whip. Boy, did that come in handy on our honeymoon. After we opened the vault, that's when the real action began. Skag on skag, key and hook, the double Calvin. 9 months later, well, there's only one thing in life that happens 9 months later.
Yeah. Okay.
Anybody count?
Yeah. Like, I'm seriously thinking about this.
We were one happy family. Then later, she died. And I had to raise the kids alone. I thought opening a vault
So,
would be the hardest thing I'd ever done. Was I wrong?
the vaults start opening back up because iridium is naturally seeping out into the universe again. And the original Necrodefeans never thought that the keys would be able to be charged, because the only thing with similar energy signatures would be the sirens, which have basically the power of the destroyer. And with that, they don't know what to do, but they planned ahead, and that's where the Guardians come into play. That's where the Vault monsters come into play.
That's the way.
That works. There's a logical consistency to it.
Up ahead. Those Malawan must want that vault bad. What if they know I already opened the sucker years ago?
Yeah, because the important thing is, how does those cryptic messages fit in with the totality of the series? Don't trust it. Beware the Seventh. You never hear the actual sirens, with few exceptions. Like, you hear phase lock and phase shift,
Place fortified. But the only way to the vault
but you never hear really
have to send those
the sirens calling them their powers that. Not until like Tyrene and what's his face are being jackasses. But yeah. So the question still comes down to what was Steel's power? Because see, the way I would have it played out. So, here's my idea for Borderlands 4. And hell, I might even email the Gearbox company for this shit. Because I think these are fucking brilliant ideas. So, here's what I think would work for Borderlands 4. It is 13 years later. No one has seen the phase leech power pop back up yet. But a new siren has appeared on a new world. Not a world we've been to, but a new world nonetheless.
Generation of vault autism. I tell ya, must be something in the water. Elevator you can take up to the vault. I know how it works. Yep, there's your problem. Elevator's missing 2 crystals. Everything runs on crystals around here. Ooh, looks like one's over there.
So, background story before the siren. It's 15 years. It's no, not 15 years. It's essentially like 12 years from now in the game, and we have a new, fresh-faced siren who's appeared on the scene. That siren has Steel's power. And it's gonna be phase blah, and I'm just saying blah to have it as a placeholder. Know what I mean? So phase blah shows up. We have another sniper. We have another soldier. We have another specialist. This time we get an Atlas soldier. And the Atlas soldier is, it can actually be one of the soldiers that was, a child on, Promethea whenever, whatchamacallit assaulted, whenever Malawan assaulted. So you can actually have someone who has a violent hatred for Malawan. Give me 1 second, I need to grab my bedtime pill. That explains my stuffed nose. I hate that I've gotten old. Back when I was younger, just sniff it up hard, spit it out, good to go. So, we have a soldier from Atlas,
So you made it to Necro
who you can have a categorized hatred for Malawan. Malawan. So we still need some type of dual wielding specialist. So the question is, what is the last Vault Hunter? And I say, we do something like, I wouldn't say like Sal, but I would say like a sword and board melee type of person. So someone who literally uses a sword and shield. Plasma cutter, whatever. Go tech with it. Oh, hush your mouth. And that would give you one shield to block with, where you could hide behind it. Which I wouldn't be surprised if they actually had something like that in Wonderlands coming out in a week. So that gives us our 4 characters, our 4 starting characters. And the overall plot is the sirens, the 3 that we know about, plus 4th being the new one, starts hearing something summon them.
Get rid of those guardians, Vault Hunter. Then we can grab the key.
And what's happening is the destroyer is using the summoning call, the siren's call, to try and bring all the sirens to one location so it can eat them and take its power back. Because right now it's still weak. Unlike someone like Tyrene, we don't get any of this taunting stuff. What we get is a lot of mystery around who's actually summoning them. Because they realize whatever's calling them has got to be a trap.
At the vault, Typhon.
But they're having problems like resisting it, so they keep trying to summon it to the location, and the sirens are protagonist sirens are not able. They're able to resist, but they're not able to basically do anything. So they're basically out of commission. And it solves the logical loophole of why don't the 4 sirens get together and just nuke the worlds.
Typhon. About Troy.
So, the destroyer is once again essentially a tiny worm. After the defeat by the Vault Hunters, it has to regrow its power and regrow its strength. Again, sorry about this.
I should have. How my kids ended up, that's on me. I might have doomed the whole universe, but I can't let that be how my story ends.
So, we have the sirens basically incapacitated, and the only one who can resist is our player character siren. As they go from world to world, tracking down this haunting voice, what they're finding isn't necessarily a lot of devastation. They're finding some of the cities that they visit just empty. And this would be told through, it could be told through gameplay. And what they find is a whole bunch of, like,
She watches over.
soldier dead.
Not in her grave, Vault Hunter. The headstone. Yes, I could have been clearer.
I wouldn't call them zombies. You could do the claptrap thing, you could do a zombie thing, but essentially what's going on is
Okay. Whew, that's done.
So what happens is, as they go to these different worlds, they're fighting basically these super mega enemies that basically turn out to be equivalent to vault monsters. So we have our vault monsters, we have our big boss battles, we have all these things that we basically become accustomed to in Borderlands 3.
What comes next? It ain't gonna be easy. We got one shot.
I gotta fix this. For later.
So,
Boy, this brings me back.
where we end up
Avoiding this place.
is, after a while, they end up basically recapturing, after we defeat the destroyer again. You can use basically the singularity theory from the Quark singularity issue from Quark singularity from My Hero Academia. Where'd it go?
I've never been inside the machine, but I guess we're gonna need all the firepower we can get our hands on. You check in with your people, I'll head to the machine. And hey, from one vault hunter to another. Thanks. I just hope we still have time to fix things.
In order to access the Iridian machine,
Oh, you, I think they changed it. Yeah, there it is. So, for shits and giggles, we're gonna burn down all of my iridium. Okay, we are gonna go over here. We are going to increase our incendiary damage. And let's see if we got anything good. Vengeful Damned. Shocking AAA. Oh, but it's a Pestilent. And a Mocking Devoted. Brainstormer's not bad, though. So. We continue on with the story, and I could fill those details in later, because I don't have it all planned out. But essentially, we were able to get back towards where we started, with the Sirens placing it back into the vault on a new planet. And they, because they're stronger than the original Sirens, because the power has essentially grown, they end up in a situation where it's better entrapped. Now, that leads to, like, Borderlands 5, focusing less on, like, the Sirens' role in the universe, and focusing more on, like, the Megacorp stuff and stuff like that. That would work. That would really, really work. And
How does it work? It's a feeling. Here. Oh, gross. Do you taste olives?
I always thought fried pickles.
Here, Bolt Hunter. All yours.
yeah, I don't like how confident she is.
It's gonna do what it's supposed to and not, like, blow up the whole universe. The machine has already worked once before, stealing the destroyer away inside Pandora millennia ago. If Tyrene leeches it, she may finally become a so-called god. And again, what is a god but the most powerful being in the universe? Either this works, or we are all obliterated. You should go down there, Tannis. I don't know who else could get this thing working. Really? And work side by side with Typhon de Leon?
If I must.
Lilith, if I must. You got this, Tannis. And
I love exactly how much she's actually fighting.
you're gone.
But yeah, that would work for a better way of doing this. Like, being straight up, that is a better way to do Borderlands 4 than I'm sorry. They made a lot of missteps. And I'm just talking about the story here. Nothing else. Just story. And that's kind of my catch. And it's the thought that I have about it is the story I'm the most upset with. Again, like the gameplay. Stormfront, If I was playing another way of playing, I'd definitely pick that up. But having it like that, you can actually have a conclusion to what you could refer to as the Destroyer arc. Where the Destroyer is defeated.
Time to see what this machine can do. Go ahead, put in the last volt.
I've actually killed myself there before. But yeah, doing that provides a great deal of closure for the arc. You can move on to a new arc. You can have a new corporation that's moving in. You can even have a corporation that is already under the control of Siren's Call, where it's been whispering to them over the last 12, 13 years, however long we jump to the next game. And it's taken over this new corporation that's a powerful, let's say, shield manufacturer. And because of that, they have really strong shields. It gives us reason, so sometimes we have to walk around something instead of orbital bombardment to things. Gives us a reason that if we have to have a time skip for some type of building a new structure to contain the destroyer, it's available to us.
No, seriously.
Fascinating. Perhaps Sirens had some hand in constructing this machine.
You know what? You remind me of Leda.
Catch me, Bolt Hunter. I swoon. If only I had a decade to study this machine. Its design is mind-gasmingly complex, but I do believe its primary operation to be fairly straightforward. To start, I require the Pandora Vault Key.
Which one? Because there's two. But yeah, you could really, really make this work and not even bat an eye at some of the inconsistencies that Tyrene has. Yeah, I actually want to write this up and send it to Gearbox to see if they'd like the idea. Admittedly, I've always wanted to write a video game, and this feels like a put up or shut up type of moment. As I nuke down Shield with fucking fire. The lob is a broken weapon. Let me just say that. The lob is broken. But yeah, write up a basic outline and I'm gonna send it up. I'm gonna send it over. Because I think it would work. I think it would show a growth.
Jake, looks like one of the statues your scientist was talking about. Give it the key.
And what you do is you actually leave Lilith entirely out of it. You leave recovering Lilith for the last DLC of Borderlands 4. Yeah. Like, I can see it clearly in my head. Sorry, I love thinking about things like this. So, I've bitched about writing before, and I call it bitching because some of it's general criticism. Other times it's just me whining. I dislike the writing in WoW. I've made the joke the lead writer has a fuck doll of a real life doll of Sylvanas, and the only way he can get off fucking it is for him to yell at her she's a hero and to give her a hero's redemption. Or a villainous redemption arc. But the problem with the writing is they don't have outsiders reviewing it saying this doesn't make sense. And they have the same type of problem, and folks like Bellular and Az versus Babyface have talked about this, but the writing has gone to shit because you're essentially looking at what is those dolls? A mamushka, not a mamushka, a nesting doll. I forget the actual name for them, but the Russian nesting dolls, where one is inside another. That's what they're doing with their main breadwinner is a Russian nesting doll of who the ultimate evil is, who the ultimate evil is, who the ultimate evil is. Well, it was the jailer who convinced Sylvanas to turn on living creatures once she died after she flung herself from the top of Ice Crown. It was the jailer who somehow damaged himself as the arbiter so that heroes would have to become mall walkers to save the universe from something else, because he was really saving it from something else, not any. He wasn't the threat. He was going to remake the universe so whatever threats out there can't come anymore.
Hurry up and refuel. We got asses to kick.
And I don't think that works very well for video games. In books that can work, but in books you can also set a greater universe than where you begin out at.
What the hell is this? Cool trick, huh, Dad? Say hello to my new.
But yeah, by doing that, you ultimately destroy the fan base, because it's like, okay, who's really the bad guy under the mask? Is it you, old man Sanders? No, it's not really you, old man Sanders. And it becomes boring to have red herring after red herring of who's the ultimate bad guy. And because they don't want to end it, what happens is the story suffers. But whenever we're talking Borderlands, you have plenty of greedy, selfish, and flat-out evil people. And you could actually have the Crimson Raiders completely out of the picture. You can have them in a different galaxy, while the new Crimson Raiders or the new Vault Hunters run around doing Vault Huntery stuff. Like, you don't always have to have the same people, the same heroic organization, and I say heroic in quotations here, to do all the good tasks in the universe. But what you can do is you can have, like, the corporate wars would be a great one. There's a new corporate war. Now that you don't have this mad rush for the vaults, the rush for the vaults have changed to something different. Now they're designing brand new weapons and brand new armor. That is no longer just simple stuff. You could do a lot with it, and they should.
Right? That's the way.
And I think it could work.
This way, come on! Like the last one.
But yeah,
The machine nearly has enough power to steal Pandora. Keep going.
I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
This way, stay sharp. This way, come on!
Like, I like doing at work streams. They can be a little fun to do because it feels like I'm doing because I am doing something I'm not supposed to be doing. It makes it a little bit funner for me. And this whole not if I eat it first thing is just garbage. Yeah.
Time for a scrap.
Ah! I found one of you! One of you the entire run! Carterizing. Ooh.
What's that? I hear you overall this awesome.
Another one of those. But tomorrow, I'm going to write this up. Like, I'm plotting this out in my head, and I see how this can work out, where Borderlands 4 would have this fantastic story without fucking up what it's already done, and even incorporate it into the current way that they had things. I think it would be worth it, and that's what I'm going to do. That's what literally I'm going to do tomorrow, is I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write out the plot that I have in my head so far.
Right. End of the world. I'll focus.
But how awesome would that be? And I'm being serious. How awesome would it be to be one of those people who say, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, do something, and actually get to do something that they would love to do? Because I love video games. I work an 8-hour day every single day. Recently, I haven't been taking breaks, but I haven't been doing a lot of, like, real hard work either. So it's like one of those middle ground things. But I work my full 8 hours a day. But I would love to be able to do video game stuff. I love to write. Like, no joke. I love to write. But I imagine how much fun it would be to actually write out a story for a game series that I love. And that would be awesome to do. And when I think about it, yeah, that would be amazing. And I think that I have a good enough story that would make the games be better. And hopefully not feel like, to other people who love the series, that some asshole's just writing fan fiction and they got it published. I say that because I'm not a big fan of 50 Shades of Grey. Which is literally fan fiction that got published. But yeah, I think that would work. I think the overall plot, you have the Destroyer weekend getting stronger. That way the new Vault Hunters, who are already badasses in their own right, because you have to be a badass to be a Vault Hunter. They grow in power, as does the Destroyer. The Destroyer is seen growing in strength, so the whole leveling up thing, which I know sometimes can be a little silly, actually comes off as something that is good. And you have these great moments where it just develops better. Because as much as some people are trying to say Wonderlands ain't gonna do shit for sales, it is. Like, I'm not a Dark Souls, Bloodborne type of player. So Elden Ring doesn't interest me. So the crowds that I run with don't really care about those games. Essentially, for me to play Elden Ring, it has to be donated. And even then, on my current schedule, I'm not going to be playing it until after I'm done binging the living dog snot out of Wonderlands. Which will be like getting all the classes up to the cap. Huh. But yeah. Oftentimes we tell people put their money where their mouth is, and I'm going to do that. You almost here, Typhon? Okay, good. I wish I could just miss you, you little guy.
The Nick with the Feo statue. Oh boy. Want you off of the key? Better hold on to your keys to.
But yeah, I take a look at this. I see what's possible. And you really could do some wonderful things with the story they have set up as is.
Return to me, fair Typhon. Vault Hunter, you may come too. Lilith, you might want to come down and see this.
Away.
Well struck. You could say they were hopping mad.
Oh, you rapscallion, you. Let's see. More burn damage. Oh, I can't do it because he's out right now. That's right. But yeah. I'm going to write this down and I'm going to submit it. I heard, and I say I heard because I don't know if it's true, that the lead writer who wrote Borderlands 3 kind of stepped away from it. And whether or not they have a new writer is kind of interesting. If they already have a new one, it would be interesting to... Like, I'm putting the cart before the horse again, and I always do that. Like, I love these ideas. I would love to do something like this, and it's something that would be a double passion of mine. Like, no joke. I was talking about this with, oh, this is an old composition book. It's not this one. I think it's purple here. This right here. I showed it. I was talking about it, and then I get into some character sheet stuff. I was playing in a role-playing game called Werewolf the Apocalypse. And as we were playing through the game, I played a type of character called a Galliard. Gaiard, if for some people. So, what we... I began writing out the story in kind of the form of an epic. With very specific types of way of writing it. And accidentally, I didn't notice this, someone else noticed it, but I had subconsciously picked up a cadence to it and a meter. Without even realizing it. I think that would be a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. And if I would love to write it and oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a stop to that.
COV incoming. Ava, keep them off Canis.
On it.
This is it. You know what to do.
I respawned them before I could actually put on the augment, but that's okay.
Troy and I were sweet stare up at the night sky and dream of becoming stars.
Woo! So, like seriously, I think that would work for me. How awesome would that be to get to sit down and write for a game series that you love?
Sounds befitting a god. Now I'm gonna devour every last star in the universe, one by one.
See, this is why I say she already has possession of what I'm calling Siren's Call. Because she's talking about devouring the universe. Up until now, she's never talked about anything like that. But as her power with the call develops, she's slowly becoming more corrupt. Huh.
Almost done. She's here. Hang on, Ava.
are the Vault Hunters.
Me?
So one of the things,
Before, Lil?
one of the things that
I'm over it.
I get tired of with the way that they did Lilith bad on this, like they did her dirty.
Hiya, Starlight.
She knows how her teleport power works. She knows she can see the teleportation coming back. She could have shot again.
How that turned out?
You scared old man! This is your fault! You kept us here when the universe should have been ours!
I gave you what I could.
I don't care! I'm gonna take what's mine! Ah!
I'm sorry, Starlight.
And which power is that? Is that the leech power at its pinnacle? Again, why did the machine stop?
You gotta stop her. It's too late
So,
for me.
there's a lot of questions to answer in this game, and to be honest, I could answer them.
Pandora's gonna be ripped apart.
Oh.
If Tyreen leeches the destroyer, we have to stop her. Typhon bought us our lives, but we're running out of last chances.
I may have a shortcut to where Tyreen went. This machine works across interstellar distances.
Like, again, I don't even know how Tyreen knows how far she can teleport.
Killer, we'd be better
She's
off-
teleporting across the galaxy.
I've been telling myself I still belonged on the front lines. A leader needs to know when to stand aside and let a soldier do their job. This is your fight.
Why is she crying?
It seems I can.
Their connection isn't very strong. She has no reason to be sad there. And that girl has seen more than enough death to friends.
We're counting on you, Killer. The destroyer is the
But yeah,
You have to stop Tyreen. Pandora's always been a hellhole, but it's our hellhole, damn it. Even if Tyreen
yeah.
is stopped, Elpis is far too close to Pandora. The Great Vault will continue to open. Let's worry about that when Tyreen is dead. One apocalypse at a time.
We're in orbit, VH. I got eyes on your fine ass from Sanctuary. Pandora's tearing itself a new one, but I ain't letting you fight that mega devil bitch alone.
Ooh. Oh. Okay, I was talking about basically having Megacorps, a new Megacorp, be as the new protagonist. Let me see. Yeah, I guess it just.
Where the gods can bleed.
Okay. I don't want to play around with you. Hello! This is what I'm looking for. You're about to feel it in your eyes. As you bleed down your thighs. Hello.
You've got her, Vault Hunter. Now climb. There, that's your opening. Give her hell.
I actually have a good thought out storyline for what could be Borderlands 4.
Watch out!
Pick the wrong fight. Cut him down, cub.
imagine a lot of fans think they have the right answer for how the game should continue.
She's down. Climb on her back. There, that's your opening. Give her hell.
Tyrene doesn't burn like a lot of other things do. But yeah. My brain is now contemplating a Borderlands 4 plot. And this is how far my imagination goes. I can see myself writing it. I can envision myself sitting down at a writer's table going, does this work? Does this have narrative continuity with everything else that's going on in the series? Do we just want to act like Battleborn never happened? Because that's what most fans do anyways. I don't think a lot of people actually know about Battleborn, to be honest. They tried to compete with a significantly more successful game and lost that fight. But yeah, I'm sitting here thinking about that. I think I could do it. Oh wow, I can't hit it this time. But yeah, look at the release of energy there. Side note, when did she pick up the that particular key?
Fine, be that way.
So
Kick ass on my own.
I have like really nice ideas, and I'm gonna write them down tomorrow while I'm in between stuff to do at work. And I think I could write something that'd be fantastic. Like, send over like I doubt I'll ever get a response, but you know it's worth the attempt. But like, sit down, write out a plot synopsis. Maybe not 110% in detail, but like a rough broad stroke. And that way it can be like just clear what the goal is. Because that's one of the things that can happen whenever you're writing if you don't have a clear destination in mind. Like, normally I'm what you would call a discovery writer.
You did it! Tyrene's dead. For real this time. She's not gonna
Come back, is she?
Well, she died and turned to ash, so I'm gonna give it a hard maybe. You got your powers back. Feels good, right? It's been so long without them, I'd almost gotten used to it. I'm not gonna lie, it does feel good.
Because this moment right here is actually more crucial than people realize.
It's over. Not entirely. Great Vault is still opening. Elpis is tearing Pandora apart.
How do we stop it?
Very simple. We can't. Not unless you know a way to remove the moon from the sky. Run towards the fire. Sanctuary's yours, Ava.
Why?
Be ready.
This is a fucking insult. Tanis should take over. Ellie should take over. Amara should take over. They're all fucking adults.
Think she's doing?
Closing the Great Vault. She's saving Pandora.
That could kill her.
She knows.
And in this moment,
She's the Firehawk.
sorry, I actually get a little teary here because Lilith's sacrifice means half of the original Vault Hunters are dead. But right here, we see exactly what we think happens. Most people think she's just sacrificed her life, sealed it away permanently. I think she essentially super phase shifted. Where it, or phase walked it. So it is on its own dimension away from everything else.
Gone.
But what we don't see yet is we don't see anything else that would indicate that she's died. We don't see that the power's been passed on in any of the DLC at this point. So it leads me personally to one conclusion, that it's super phase walked. It is in that dimension where Lilith goes whenever she teleports around.
She's just a girl and she's on fire.
And very appropriate music.
We should go back up to Sanctuary.
And let's be honest, Lilith probably knew what the end result was, because she would. There's no way she wasn't talking to that Iridian, the Iridian Guardian, that appeared to them like 5 years ago and told her there's a war coming. And it links right back into that, because this didn't seem like much of a war. This seemed like a fucking skirmish. Compared to what could be done, this is a skirmish.
Recruit, you did it! You followed my instructions exactly and saved Pandora! Alright, Ava wants to talk to you. She's a military.
So literally, we have a way to define everything here and keep the story moving forward.
Remember, this is space, people. So don't do nothing stupid.
I guess I was hoping Lilith would be here waiting for us. She's just...
Yes, gone!
She used to tell me stories about Lilith. The two of them were fighting side by side.
Lilith had her own secrets back here. This chest is of Iridian design, but I have no idea where she might have gotten it. No external mechanism on it, but perhaps I can phase shift it open. Ah, so I can. Peculiar. Intended for me to open.
Maggie, you're going in the chest. I already have Pepperoni Dream.
Another matter for us to
A
discuss
wagon wheel. A new companion. A devastator, okay.
How good does that feel?
Using my enormous intellect, I have sussed out the purpose of the artifact.
So, as much as I would love to start the next DLC, I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm going to save the DLCs for tomorrow. I might do a at-work stream. I might not. I might just write tomorrow, because I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. I think I'm just going to write tomorrow. And but definitely tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time at the latest. Me and my wife has been like we've been pretty consistent with our schedules to maintain our habits. I think that this will. Who knows? You might see me with the writing credit. Hi, Sorian.
Sounds fun, I call
I don't mind.
Mayhem mode. I've integrated it into our onboard fast travel map, so you can use it whenever you feel the call of mayhem. Enjoy.
Attention, crew of Sanctuary. That motherfucking vault hunter just saved y'all ass. So show some respect. Ain't enough heroes in this galaxy.
Oh, and look at that. I also get yeah. Let's see. Fire, incendiary damage. Then it's over here. There we go. Because there's a lot of things to do here. Oh, I should have done that one. But yeah. Because this is all about fire damage. But with that said, I look forward to seeing people tomorrow night. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time of day it is for you, and may joy be to every last one of you.